Welcome back to Dowler Models. So I'm on the final straight with the RC211V now. I've got all of the fairing panels all painted up and polished and all the rest of it, and all of the extra little bits that need finishing off all done. So this video is going to be the final assembly for it. So as you can see, this is the bike on the jig where I'm currently at. So I've ran a brake line for the rear brake down there, which I need to attach the reservoir for, and all the front fork assemblies all done with the wiring done, and the dials are on there, as you can see if I don't knock the camera. And then on this side all the chains done, and all the rest of it. So like I said, this is the final assembly part. So if I put that over there for a minute, the next thing that I need to do is to get this piece and this piece. So you can see that I've attached the filler cap on there, and these are all got carbon fibre detail and a few rivet details on there. So that wants to sit over there, carefully prise it into that lip. So that's quite a good snug fit, so I'm not going to put any glue in there or anything, but you can see the finish on the carbon fibre there after it's all polished up. Just looks great, and the same on that side. So next bit to do is the exhaust, and I did start to do a video for painting these on how I do these, but I wasn't overly happy with it and ended up redoing them, so I've ditched that video because it wasn't really much good. So but this is where my exhausts are at now after being weathered up. So what I want to do is get this one, and it needs attaching to the underside of here. So if I work out which way it goes, I think it's that way. And I want the screw in there. So I've got a screw ready over here, and I've got a little screwdriver. So that wants to go in there. I don't mind using screws that come in the kit for pieces that aren't going to be visible, but when it comes to the fairings and things where it's noticeable, I don't really want to use them. So that is that piece, and that goes in there. And what you've got a couple of notches either side up here, and I'll put some magnets in the bottom here and in this piece here. So this doesn't need any glue on it, it's just going to be a flush fit. So if I get those on there to start with, like that, and then that fits nicely on there, as you can see. That's that side and that side. So I'm going to leave it like that, because the reason I put magnets in here is because the kit says to use screws. So obviously I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. So that's that piece done, and the next bit to do is the actual seat piece. So that I am going to glue. That wants to sit on there. Just checking where it clears. It's going to sit like that. So if I tease that off a little bit, and I'll put some glue on there. Just put some glue on the underside of this. I'm not going to put too much on. And then tease that onto there like that. what I also want to do is put this exhaust on, and there's another piece that goes on there. So if I put this on first, because what I've done is I put a pin in the back of there that goes into the bottom of that, again to avoid putting a screw in there. So if I get my glue, I'll use this for the normal Tamiya spent because I want a bit of strength to it. I'm just going to run a bead along there. And you've got some pins on that to align it up. Make sure it's in the right place. So it goes there like that. So I'll leave that for the glue to set for a little bit and move on to the next piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the seat on, which isn't anything special. I've just put some painted that with a what's the word I'm looking for? Low pressure to give it a bit of a textured look. Sorry, I couldn't find my words then. So on the pegs, I've got some aftermarket pegs from Top Studio for this. If you can see the detail in that. So I cut the original ones off and replaced them with these, and that's going to sit on there like that. So I'm just checking what else I've got. I've got that wire. I've drilled a hole in the back of this, and I've got the wire at the end of the brake line to go into that. But what I'm going to do first is just get my little pin vise and just go through that hole again, just to clear any paint out that might have got in there. So when it comes to attaching that wire, I'm not going to have a problem. So like I said, that's going to go on there, and it's going to sit like that. So you've got a couple of grooves there that the back of those go into. So I'll glue this in first, and then I'll attach the wire later on. Put some glue on that peg there, and a bit in those two. Just to give it something to hold on to. So that's that side done. And then on this side, I've taken the kit part and I've cut the bar off that runs on that to replace it with a turned piece, again from Top Studio. And that's going to sit in there. What I'm going to do is remove the post so that I can get better access. So that piece sits down there, and then that one goes up there. Alright. What I want is to get a bit of wire, which I didn't get before, just to go in that hole, which I did on the other side, I've not done on this side. And all it's for is just to give that something to grip. So it's not anything fancy, it's just a bit of copper wire from a power cable. So all I'm going to do is glue that in there. So I'm just going to file it down a bit so it's got a good fit. I should have done this before, but I didn't. But you get to see what I do anyway with this, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. So that's all I want. So I'll get my tweezers. So that's all I've cut off. It's just a tiny little piece. And then I'll put that in there. Just so it can act as a peg. So that that's got something to just connect to. So I'm just going to trim that off a little bit because it's a little bit too long still. Doesn't need a lot at all on there. So that's going to sit on there, and then that will go down there. So I'll put some glue on there now. I'll put a bit on there. Get the excess off the cocktail stick because there's too much on there. And I want some in that hole down there. So we'll do that one first, get that in place. Is that if I don't slip? And then I can put that one up there. I just need to hold that for a minute just to get the glue to set. There you go. So the next piece I want to do is I'll spin it back round and I'll put this exhaust on. And again, I want to remove this post for that. And I made a mistake in starting to put the radiator on before doing the exhausts. And what that means is I've got a pipe on the other side that I need to carefully position this through. It makes it a little bit more awkward to get that in past that pipe. Which, if you follow the instructions and do it in order, you wouldn't have this problem, but that's me not doing things the way it says. It must be further up than that. So yeah, make sure when you come to do this that you don't put that pipe in the way first, because it causes a problem. As you can see. And it was a lot easier when I was test fitting before with this. I don't want to go in. There we go. That's where it wants to be. So what I'll do, I'll just check that position of that there. So you can see where that pin's going to go in there now, which needs a little bit of finessing. So I'm going to put some glue on the front of those exhausts now that I know I've got it in the right position, and then I'll let that set. But you can see doing this the benefit of having the jig. Despite taking most of the pins out, just having it, even just having it on the front bar going through is still enough to hold it. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll sort that pin out at the back. But now that I've done that, I can put the exhaust, the radiator on, and that sits in there. I'll do it from this side. That sits with that up there, and those two go in that much there, and then I've got a little pipe at the bottom. Again, just checking the fit. Where it goes. I'm going to put these bars back in to support it again now. I think that needs to go a bit further down. There we go. So that just gives it a bit more support while I'm working on this. So if I pop that out, so I can put some glue in there as well. So I just want a bit of glue in that bit, and the same on that side. And then I want to put that in that hole down there. And then that will fit where I want it. So that's that in. So I can start putting the rest of the fairing pieces on now. So as you can see, I've painted the inside of them with black paint too, in case you get to see any of it. So I've got a notch on the back there. And then I've got a magnet at the front to hold it in place. Bit of a tight fit on that. Let that sit go. And then I've got this piece which I'm going to glue on, and then I'm going to glue the uprights on, which are here. So if I work out which side is which, just need to clean this one up a bit. I didn't realise that I still got anything on that, otherwise I'd have done it before. Let me just work out which one goes where. I think this one is for this side. No, it's for that side. That'll go in there. And then I think that goes in that one there. Which is going to be a bit fiddly. Not the camera again, don't want to be doing that. Almost feels like it's in the wrong place. It's not a very good fit, so I'll glue that where it wants to be anyway, and then get these in. Really don't want to go in this one. That's what it wants to do. So same again on this side. Just clean the pin up a little bit. Not the camera again. Get that in there. Get that up there. They really are fiddly little things, these. Really don't like doing them, but they do need doing. So there we go with those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the paddock stand at the back, and then I can take it off the jig. So that actually clips on, I think. Like that. So now when I take the bike off, it's going to stand itself up. So now I can attach the fairings, and you finally get to see what it all looks like. And I've got some interference on this side for something. Try and work out what it is. I'm not quite sure. But I'll move on. And get this on. Always a bit of a concern doing the final fit, especially using magnets, because you don't know what's going to fit and what's not. I've definitely got something fouling on that side, so it's not pulling it closed, but you can see anyway where I'm at now. I'll finish that off camera, work out what's interfering with it, what's stopping it, and I'll put some pictures up on my page once it's all sorted, so you can see that side anyway where I'm at with the fancy paintwork and paint job that it had on it, and the same on this side. Just hold it like that and then you can see what it looks like. So I really need to work out what's catching that. I think there's a tab at the back, a piece that fits at the back here, and it appears to be that for some reason, not quite positioning it right. So I'll work all that out off camera anyway. And okay, just to carry on from where I left off when I was struggling with the fairing pieces, as you can see now I've got that to sit okay. And what I've had to do, if I just prise this off, is I've put an extra magnet up here and just in there, and as you can see before I just removed it, it was enough to hold this piece on now. It's got a much stronger pull. I've used a 2mm magnet rather than 1mm, so you can see the size difference between this one here and that one there, how much bigger it is. And like I said, it's got enough pull in it now to actually hold that in place, to hold the bottom fairing on. So there's obviously something that's putting enough weight on it at the bottom to pull it down just enough at the front end there, to cause problems, whereas the screws will pull it in tight. Obviously the magnet isn't sufficient in that place, so that's what I've done. So I just thought I'd show you this on camera, just so you can see what I've actually done to fix the problem. So there you go. So I've got a few more photo etch bolts just to fit, just to finish off, like I said, where the front axle is, and a couple on the body panels and things, and then I'll be done. I mentioned, I think, about the decals with the holes in, and what you've actually got is I've put a photo etch head on there, and it actually fills the hole fairly well, so it's not as bad as I was expecting. And just knock my bike over there. So yeah, there you go. So next video I will probably do as a build review, and then that will be the last one in this series. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.